Cool. Roads are damp. Alright, we're gonna change it over to M mode. I like that mode a little bit better than the other one. Let's go ahead and engage cruise control. There you go. Set my speed to about 65-ish or so. And then it's gonna do all the accelerating, braking, and steering for me. Nice. So awesome. Look at the steering wheel turning for me. I don't know, but I just don't fully trust this whole system yet. That's just me. Alright, had to stop and get some photos over here by the water. It's just too cool. Too nice looking not to stop. Take a couple pictures, why not? But man, I gotta hurry up because it's about to get dark. And it's only like 3:30 right now. But the sun's about to go down. All right, so in this video, we're gonna talk about why I sold my Supra for the G80 M3. I know some of you guys gave me crap about it, but I don't care. I really, really love the Supra, but also the G80 M3. I think they're both awesome cars. You can't go wrong with either one, guys. But with that said, the answer might surprise you, but there's nothing wrong with the Supra. I actually really, really love that Supra. When I bought it, man, I drove that thing as much as I could. I couldn't stop driving it. I think I put about 20,000 miles in, like, I think I owned it for less than 2 years. It was actually, yeah, a year and a half, almost 2 years. I don't think it was 2 years, but with that said, man, like every chance I got, I was in there driving it. Oh, we got some good twisties right here. We're not gonna go fast because it's like 30 degrees out right now, and the tires are a little bit, I mean, the roads are a little bit damp, so I don't want to push too much. You know, people ask, do I miss the Supra? Well, I don't know, not really. I mean, it was a great car, but when you are in a G80 M3 and you look back at the Supra and what it was like, wow, man, the G80 is just on a whole different level than the Supra. Nothing against Supra, like I said. I mean, I absolutely love the car. I would own another one if I could. If I would get another Supra, if I did get another Supra, it would definitely be a manual transmission car. All right, some of the things I didn't like about the Supra, now keep in mind, I had the 2020 model, which is the first year model, which is like, I know some of you guys don't recommend getting the first year model. I don't know, I don't think anything's wrong with it. It does have lower horsepower than the 2021s, which they revised to like 380 something. I think the 2020 was like 330, but with the tune, there really isn't that much difference. But with that said, the car made great power. I mean, the Supra had an upgraded turbo, it was a pure 700, had a downpipe, catless, and really that's about it. Intake, but you know, all the power outers were there. Made 550 wheel horsepower, tuned by Mikey body, no complaints there. The one issue that I had with the Supra, as soon as I got it tuned, was that every time that you step on the gas, man, you had to hold on for dear life. And let me turn that down. And that rear end would always want to come out, no matter how warm it is outside, no matter how warm the tires were. That rear end just had a mind of its own. It always felt like the front and the rear just didn't communicate with each other very well, unlike with the other M cars that I own. So that was one of the big things. You know, I've had like 5 different alignments I had Firestone alignments, I had professional alignments done. Same thing. They said, you know, you're gonna need to fix some of this bumps there. So I got some SPL components. I only put like 200 miles on those SPL parts in the rear. Shout out to the guy who bought my old SPL parts because I took those off before I sold it. You got a fat deal on that one. A little loss on my part, but I just wanted to get rid of it. I still have some Supra parts left over, like the intake. I have like this Alcantara thingy-mabobber that goes up here. Some front bumper carbon fiber pieces that they're just sitting in my garage. I'll eventually sell. If you guys want them, just let me know. DM me on Instagram. You guys know my Instagram handle. I'll put it down there below. But that's one of the things I didn't like. You know, it handled great. I took the Supra to the track, I think like 4 times. Like 2 of them I didn't even record because I just wanted to focus on the actual track day and driving itself instead of having to worry about filming and all that stuff. But yeah, it always had that tendency to snap oversteer. There's oversteer and there's snap oversteer. Like the M4, it likes to oversteer, but it was very, very controllable. But in the Supra, it just, you know, it would just come up on you when you least expected it. It almost came to a point where it wasn't even enjoyable to drive anymore. It's like, you know, after like the 3rd or 4th session, you know, like, I'm just done. And then I bought the M4, and then that thing was an absolute blast to drive on a track. Yes, it does like to oversteer, but it's so controllable. You know when the rear tires are going to break loose. Controlling it is really easy. Man, and I still have to take this G80 to the track. We will do that, I think, around April of next year when the track opens up again. I want to do it this year, but yeah, you know, my schedule and just time and all that stuff going on just didn't happen. And I'm pretty positive that this G80 is going to do absolutely fantastic at the track, just like the M4. The M4 was, ooh, man, bone stock, 100% stock. The M4 was just as fast as the Supra. I am not a professional driver by any means. You know, I've been going to track days since like the early 2000s, before it was cool. But, you know, but I'm not a professional by any means. I don't claim to be one. But I do have some time going to the track. So, you know, the M4 was about a half a second. My best time, my PB in the M4 was about a half second faster than my Supra. Supra had, let's see, it just had HKS adjustable springs on there. I didn't get the chance to track it with the SPL components on there because I sold it shortly after I installed those and after paying $300 for professional alignment. But it is what it is. I just got tired of it. But that's not the main reason why I sold the Supra. The main reason why I sold the Supra was basically because I wanted to have a family fun car. I could take my kids, you know, the wife and kids, and have fun with the car at the same time. With the Supra, you can't do that. You know, it's a two-seater. But if I wanted to go out for a drive and go somewhere fun on a road trip, I could take, you know, the whole family with me. With the G80, it fulfills pretty much all my needs when it comes to a family fun car. You know, I call this like the ultimate dad car. You know, if this was a wagon, if they sold the G81 M3 Touring, that would be like the awesome car. If they did sell that here in the States, this car would be gone. I would get that Touring model because the Touring model looks absolutely fantastic. I know, and I understand the reason why they don't do it here, because in America, they're not really a fan of wagons, even though car enthusiasts are, but the general public don't really prefer wagons. They'd rather get a sedan or an SUV over the wagon. I know it doesn't make sense to me. I lived in Europe for 3 years, and in Europe, they really, really love their wagons over there. It's like the one car that does it all. With that said, that's just the main reason why I sold the Supra. Nothing wrong with it. You know, it did have its flaws, but you know, I just wanted a family fun car. A car I could take the whole family in and still drive, you know, a fun car instead of taking the family SUV. I do own a 2021 or 2020, I think, Toyota Highlander, so we can fit, you know, all our stuff and the family in there. But you know, it's just not really a fun car to drive, if you know what I mean. But this car, man, I absolutely love it. Even though we're going slow on these roads, this car is just handles absolutely amazing in these corners. I mean, the steering sharpness, oh my god, dude. I mean, just the improvements in the G80 over the previous generation is fantastic. Nothing against the previous generation. I still love my M4. The M4 feels a little bit more raw. This just feels more a little bit synthetic, but it's nothing bad at all. No, not bad by any means. This is just on a whole different level than the Supra and the M4. But yeah, I think they really did a good job. The G80 doesn't have like the typical quirks like the previous BMWs do, like with the crank hub or the bearings or the throttle body actuators. Nothing yet that I can think of. All I know is that the S58 can hold a lot of power. The transmission can hold a lot of power. That was the one thing about the Supra, is that I did want to make more power with the Supra. That just reminded me is that I was pretty much tapped out. 550 horsepower, and if I wanted to make more power, I had to upgrade the transmission, and upgrading the transmission is not cheap. You're talking about 10 grand at least, and then shipping costs and all that stuff, and I just didn't think it was worth it. You know, this car can make, you know, with just some downpipes and a tune and a little bit E85, it can make over 700 horsepower, which is really, really cool, and it can make that effortlessly, and you can still take it to track without heat soaking issues. But with that said, that's just the main reason why. I know this is a really short video. I wish I had more for you. I wish I had something. I know this is anticlimactic on why I sold the Supra, but it is what it is. I just want to be transparent with you guys. Also, shout out to the other channel that I'm working on. If you're not subscribed to that channel, I'll put a link down in the description below. It's probably one of the main reasons why I'm not posting a lot of videos on this channel, because I am editing a lot of videos for the Woyshnis Garage channel. Like I said, your subscription to that channel will also mean a lot to me. Trying to get monetized in this day and age is really, really hard. It's a lot different than when I started my YouTube channel back in 2015. It's it's really hard to grow on YouTube nowadays, especially because, you know, short form content has taken over, and I don't know, maybe just attention spans on social media is just a lot different than it was back then. Like, subscribe, not only to my channel, but also the other channel that I'm working on. We have so much awesome stuff on there, you guys wouldn't believe it. If you're a Supra guy and you guys like Supra content, well, we did post a nice, cool Supra video of a nice bespoke exhaust on the channel just recently, so I'd really highly recommend you check that out. You know, I'd like to hear from you. With that said, that's all I got for you. Oh my God, that sun is bright. With that said, I'm out. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys.